In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make 3 flipbooks. You'll be making a stickman waving, a ball bouncing, and a human being sucked up by a UFO. You will need a couple things today. First of all, you'll need index cards or something to write on. You can use post-it notes or something easy to flip, but I recommend index cards because it's the thickest. I have Flipbook paper that I will be using today. You'll need binder clips or bindings, and you'll need a light source, something that you can see through. I'm using a LED. I'm using like a light box, but you can also use an LED tracing pad, and if you have nothing, a window. So just hold it up to the window. So first you just start off by drawing a stick man, and then each page I'm going to put a page on top of it, and with the light source so I can see through it, I'm going to trace the body and then draw his arm moving a little bit each time. So he's going to be waving, so I'm going to make his arm go back and forth a couple times so that you kind of get the motion. You just kind of first put the page on top, trace his body, and move the arm. Every time you're going to keep changing it, make sure the body remains pretty consistent. You will do this as many times as you want. I'm going to do it a couple times, and then at the end I'm just going to kind of have his arm drop off by his side so that after he's done waving. So right about here I'm going to just kind of have his arm drop off and come back to his side. And then that was your first flipbook that's all finished. For this material, I'm just using a regular pen. You could really use a Sharpie, a pen. There's nothing specific. You just have to have fun with it. So let's see it. Now, how you're going to put it together is you're going to use a binder clip. You could just kind of put it on and then flip it like that. You just bend it and flip it. I'm going to be using these bindings. My paper has holes in them specifically for this, and I'm going to just put the bindings in, and they're supposed to be screwed in. So as I'm putting the bindings in, it's just an easier way to hold them together, but binder clip should be fine. Now let's see the flipbook. Now there you have your stickman waving. Our next flipbook, what we're going to make is we're going to be making a ball bouncing. First I'm going to just kind of draw the ball at the top. I want to make it really high, and it's going to be falling in from above. So it's going to be coming in really fast. So I'm just going to offset my page so that my second page is higher than my first page so that the ball is consistent and it looks and dropping. Now I'm going to just take my next page and put it over to my second page. But this time I'm going to change it a little bit again. I'm going to just put my third page a little bit higher so that the ball is dropping even faster. And you want to make the difference between each page really big since the ball is dropping really fast. You're going to keep doing that until it hits the ground. Right about now, what you're going to actually do is you're going to make the ball more of an oval shape since it's falling down really fast. It's going to kind of be dragging down by gravity, and it's going to pull, so you're going to make it oval. And now, since it's touching the ground, the impact is going to kind of splat on the ground, so you're going to kind of draw the opposite way of an oval. And now it's springing back up, so what you're going to do is you're going to draw the ball, except this time it's just a little bit more risen off the ground. Now you're going to just draw the ball going up a little more. This time you're going to offset it. You're going to move the page down a little bit so that you can kind of see how the next page it's going to go up, and it's going to go up slower than when it's coming down since it's at a slower pace. And it's not going to be as high either. You're going to go probably around halfway as it was falling from, because that's how much you will need it to go, because it's not going to be able to bounce back up that high. Now, since the ball is going back down now, it's going to go faster than how it came up. So now I'm going to just kind of go faster downwards. And now since the impact is going to come a little, it's going to be more of an oval shape. And then as soon as it hits the bottom, it's going to start going flat again. And then you're going to just give it not as much squash as before because this time it's not as high as it's coming from. And now since it's going back up, you're gonna go up again, and this time I'm gonna have it just like bounce a little bit in place and kind of settle down, so it's not gonna be too much of a bounce this time. Okay, now you have basically finished your bouncing ball flipbook. Now the third flipbook I'm going to make is going to be a little man getting sucked up by a UFO, and I'm going to just make a template here first so I could go back to that, and I'm going to just first draw the stickman standing there a couple pages so that you can he's just kind of chilling over there and standing. And then only I'm using the template because it's going to be easier when the UFO comes. I want to know how I want my UFO to look. And now I'm just kind of drawing him in a couple pages. And now I'm just kind of drawing the bottom of the UFO using the template. And I'm going to keep moving it across a little more. So now I have the buttons coming up the holes, the windows. And now I'm going to draw more of the ship now. Just so that it kind of has that coming down effect the more you do it. And you're going to keep doing that until you are low enough as you want it to be. So I'm going to kind of make it around here. I'm going to leave it here for a page. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to actually have the beam starting to come that's sucking him up. So I'm going to make the beam go a little further this time. And then as soon as it hits the ground, he's going to be sucked up. So for this part, I'm making him longer so that it shows that he's kind of getting sucked up quickly. So whenever you're doing something like that, you can always squish it or make it longer, just like the ball. So I'm making him stretched out a little more. And now I'm kind of just keep moving him. So now his feet are just sticking out. And then he's going to be like sucked up all the way. And then the beams are going to start to retract and then the UFO is gonna like slowly fly away. And when I do this, I'm gonna just kind of slowly do this. But as soon as I am done with this step, I'm gonna make the UFO kind of blast off really quickly. And how I'm gonna do that is I'm going to kind of add some sketchy lines in a way so that it's only gonna be a couple pages, but here I'm gonna just add some sketchy lines so that it kind of shows that it's gonna the UFO is getting boosted away. Well, that is your man getting sucked up by a UFO flipbook all done. Let's see how it looks. Again, you could just use a binder clip as your connector. And I'm gonna, for this one, I'm just holding it. And there it is. So I know this one I had a little trouble in the end. I'm skipping pages. So what you can do to avoid that is what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just add a couple of blank pages to the back so that when I flip it, I'm gonna skip blank pages instead of my flipbook pages. So now you can see the whole flipbook. And that are your 3 flipbooks all done. You have your stickman waving, saying hi flipbook, and then you have your bouncing ball flipbook, and you have your man getting sucked up by a UFO flipbook. Those are the basics to help you get started with your own flipbook. If you thought this video was helpful, please subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.